The views and opinions of this podcast are solely our own, with no direct intention to offend or upset.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
And good morning, well, morning for us, to yourselves there, people. This is Whit's the Script. Again, it's myself, Chris. I'm hosting this time. And look at this sexual, sentient being wearing the native hoodie. Look at him. Craig, how are you?
I'm absolutely smashing. Penultimate episode, eh?
Time flies when you're watching films and watching more films.
This has probably been one of our longest series, to be honest with you, because we have had a couple of breaks, like in between episodes, a couple of times and all that. But
it's
just fine. It's no rush, mate. It's no rush.
There's plenty to go back and listen to. I tell you, there's plenty. See that one sheet is plenty. One pod is not plenty.
One sheet.
But again, thanks to Gwyneth for their tunes there. Got us in popping and rocking and the likes. Again, they're on the old Spotify and that. If you want to get and listen to them, I suggest you do. If you like your music and the likes. There's a wee puff of the vape there.
It's ran out. That's it, done. The last one.
Oh, ran out to a vape. We're gradually going to see the breakdown in society. But again, already gave a shout out to Native Origins, but there's the hoodie. If you're watching us on YouTube again, look at that. Look, he's shrouded in mystery there.
Hello there.
Again, before it says they should be cutting about come April because of the new financials and all that. But get them when you can. And again, shout out to the seismic guys there. Jurassic Park, I think is the last one I listened to. Is there a new one out?
I know, Running Man. I listened to it the other day.
Oh, Running Man.
I was remember the tune, man.
I just so you know, we've seen some of the new Running Man being filmed at our works and that, you see. So
I did. Got quite a library of photographic evidence stored on my laptop. So I have a
the one was hysterical. We couldn't get away from them. They're like that. What's the script? What's happening? We're like that. What's happening with yous? You tell us.
Big man, going to review our film when it comes out. It's like, fuck you, calm down, me man.
I know, mate. Mr. Pibble, just you smile and be sexy, brother.
It's good how Glasgow's getting used for this totalitarian dystopian future, which is fucking already here.
Shithole.
Aye, shite, every cunt's poor and broken and fucking dealing cigarettes like currency.
Where can we film like it's a desolate, apocalyptic nightmare? Also,
Glasgow.
I know. That's what's more shocking about it. They went like that. Where's maybe a horrible place we can film? And it wasn't like, well, we would say like fucking the East End or Poso or fucking we'll go to the town centre where everybody's supposed to take pride.
Aye. Great, innit? Absolutely brilliant.
Aye, superb. But enough of that. Enough of the pleasantries there. And well, the shout outs and that. We'll do recent watches because if anybody was listening last week and was listening intently, we did forget to do our recent watches. So this could be a substantial amount of ocular delights, as we're taking to call them. So, Craig, hit me with your best shot.
Right, okay. I'm just going to run through them. I'm not going to give you a view on anything because it will take far too long. So since we last done this, Oh, here we go. I've watched all of American Prime Evil, all of Godless, all of Taboo, all of the O.J. Simpson documentary, all of Gangs of London Series 2, all of The Penguin. I've also watched The Animal, News of the World, Django Unchained, The Magnificent Seven, 2017, Tombstone, The Hateful Eight, Unforgiven, Fight Club, The Goonies, Liar Liar, Yes Man, The Sentinel, The Hobbit, Unforgettable Journey, The Hobbit, Desolation of Smog, Hobbit, the last one, I can't remember it. And then there was None, which was a BBC series, Law Abiding Citizen, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Oh, that's
more.
quite a lot.
There
Oh,
was
there'll be
more,
eyeball strainage with that.
telling you, mate, telling you. But
Watching that.
that's us up to date. What about you?
Oh, mate, everywhere and anywhere. Summer. I'll kick it off. I watched Grown Ups 2, Pacific Rim, The Book of Eli, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, The Beach, The Usual Suspects, Sound of Freedom, The Man in the Iron Mask, City Slickers, The Raid 2, and Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. So, everywhere. Like, when you shake a bottle of ketchup without the lid on it, know what I mean? Everywhere.
Or like me, fucking a couple of days ago at work when I made myself some lovely noodles and all that, and I went to, it was when you were off, I went to put the salt on it and the full fucking lid came after. I was like, no, I don't eat a lot. You fucking ruined it. Horrible, man.
But all killer device. With what device? Aye. So obviously, in amongst that is the film of the end of the day, which was Se7en, which was picked by our guest John last week. I dare say he likes this film as well.
Mm-hmm.
So 1995, this film came out, and we're just after saying that is 30 years ago.
Unbelievable, by the way. Unbelievable.
The things you say.
Fuck it. You know what I mean? 30 years ago, this was it. No, not having it. Not having it at all. Makes me feel terrible that saying that out loud.
I know that's like 15 years. It's mental.
You could even make it sound even worse and say it's 5 years more than a quarter of a century old. Fucking hell, man.
Oh, I mean, there's 30 years ago when shoelaces were shoelaces. But
straws were plastic. Better times.
Simpler times. But not only did Se7en happen 30 years ago, what else happened 30 years ago, Greg?
An awful lot. And I'm going to refrain from doing my basil this week. So, lots happening, Foxy. I've done it, bastard. Right, so in 1995, there was some seismic world events that happened. There was a San Francisco earthquake, which registered 7.9 magnitude on the Richter scale, and it killed 3,000 people in April. I remember that, man. There was the Valparaiso earthquake as well. Big year for earthquakes, by the way. An 8.2 magnitude earthquake, which killed 20,000 people in August. There was also the Oklahoma City bombing, a terrorist attack in Oklahoma City with the deadliest terrorist attack in America before 9/11. There was the Bering Banks collapse. I didn't remember that being so long ago. I thought it was in the noughties, but there you go, 1995. Bering's Bank collapsed. And if you remember, the UK investment banking firm collapsed after a broker lost 1.4 billion speculating on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. And lastly, this was the year that YouTube was invented in the February. It was founded and invented in February. So there you go. That was some of the shit that was happening in the real world. But you might want to remove yourself from the real world just to forget about all these earthquakes and Bering's Bank collapsing and it's fucking tragic. I'm going to pictures. Go to pictures.
And you couldn't lose yourself on YouTube yet, know what I mean?
No, yeah,
Oh.
no. It was just founded, but you had nothing to watch it on. You know what I mean? Because computers were still attached to your fucking landline in the house. That fucking modem noise, man. So you go after the pictures and you could watch the very passable, very likeable Batman Forever, which was the third installment in the first viewing of Val Kilmer, which I didn't mind because Jim Carrey was in it and others, and it was smashing. Crimson Tide, The Net, Outbreak, a belter of a movie that me and another 13 went to see, funnily enough, was Apollo 13. Me and all my pals went to see that. It was great. Loved that film. The Quick and the Dead, one of your favourites. And I think that's the third week in a row we've mentioned it. The Quick and the Dead, which is fucking... Judge Dredd, which is the Sylvester Stallone installment. And a fantastic wee movie, which we didn't know we needed at the time, but it was just awesome. Desperado. Love that film. Really like it. So that gets you away from the real world. That you've come into movies like that, all refreshed and happy now, and thinking, I want to go and get a wee tune for my new CD player or my tape deck there. And I'm going into Virgin Music or could even get it. Aye. So music was Gangster's Paradise by Coolio, Boombastic by Shaggy, All Right by Supergrass, The Universal by Blur, Roll With It, Oasis, and Fake Plastic Trees by Radiohead. They were just some of the bangers that were in the charts at the same fucking time, and we did not fucking know we were born. Know what I mean?
I know, mate. It's fucking it's brutal. It's brutal. I
Horrible.
was listening to a podcast and they were talking about music nowadays. Like the actual artists out there, and I'm like, eh?
Mm-hmm. There is a reason Oasis came back. It's to heal the fucking masses. It's to heal us for a wee bit. But people that didn't get healed in 1995 stopped breathing and the like.
Healed to death with a stiletto.
We're put in the ground. I'm just thinking 1985. Phil Hartman was still ways then. But people that weren't, Dean Martin died 1995, which I was very surprised about. I thought he did no long after Cannonball Run, but there we go. Eazy-E, he died as well. Donald Pleasance, the man of many horrors, he passed away. Mickey Mantle, the famous baseball player, he died. And also legendary comedian Peter Cook, he passed away as well. So that was some of the more recognisable names that passed away. But there were some births, just in keeping with the last couple of weeks. I'm going to tell you about some people that were born in 1995. Some people maybe should have been drowned the same day. I don't know. It's up to you to decide. Because the first one that pops out to us is Logan Paul. He was born 1995. The very busy and very prominent actor Timothée Chalamet was born. And I was surprised that he was 30 years old because he looks about 12, didn't he?
I was going to say that. He looks fucking That's a minor.
Aye. That's how he sings all his songs in A minor. Kendall Jenner. She popped out screaming. She's been fucking still screaming and moaning ever since. The very ocular delight that is Dua Lipa, whether you like her music or no. I could watch her with the sound in. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Dua Lipa, she was born. And Justice Smith was born as well, the actor. So there you go, mate. That was quite the factoid exploration of 1995.
Oh, aye, 1995. It was influential then, and it still influences us now. There you go. There you go. No, I mentioned it. Disco was born in 1995 in order, so.
That's the day that chicken was explored in its entirety.
You know, fuck all about 1995.
The untapped market of poultry. It was like the rediscovering of paleontology after Jurassic Park came out. Started finding more dinosaurs. When Disco came out, they started learning more about chicken. And I think Jamie Oliver getting bored with that and fucked it for a lot of us. Prick.
I know. Well, there you go, Davey. Well, you were filling your nappies. People were away watching Seven.
Including your big brother at 3-year-old.
Aye. Well, again, this is a film that I've watched when I shouldn't really have been watching it. You know what I mean? We'll say I was maybe 7 when I seen this, I think. So,
Hey, that's quite handy, that, isn't it?
From the hip. Boom.
Oh, Quick and the Dead, Chris Ness here.
Aye. Everybody, the film we're doing today, if you don't already know, is 1995 7. Again, directed by David Fincher, who we done the other week there. I had directed a Fight Club. The cast that I've wrote down as it goes: Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Kevin Spacey, Gwyneth Paltrow, Andrew Kevin Walker, Leland Orser, R. Lee Ermey, and John C. McGinley. That's who I just put down as more memorable actors in it who played a bigger part as well. Again, the budget for this film was $33 million, and it made a healthy profit. What healthy profit did it make, Craig?
I've got it down as being 327.3 millions.
Yeah. That you must have the same source on the internet as I do.
We've started sinking this ship. It's getting fucking scary.
But aye. Well, what a return for that, Know what I mean?
Aye, definitely. So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times its budget, roughly. Do you know what I mean? A 900% markup on anything is a good fucking day to be alive.
It's good.
Very good. Aye, smashing, mate. It deserved every penny. I would dare say that, obviously, if this film came out today, and by the way, it could, because it's fucking timeless. I went to see it a couple of years ago. I thought it was a couple of years ago, but obviously now, thinking back, it must have been 5 years ago for the 25th anniversary. It was re-released, and it's timeless. It stands up as much today as it did 30 years ago. It's a moment in time, but timeless, if you know what I mean.
Aye. Well, I was going to ask, when did you first see this? Did you go to the pictures to see it the first time?
No. Even though I was of age, I don't remember any furor about it or any kind of publication or something like that. But I go to an Azad video shop, rented it. See, people of a certain age used to have to go to an establishment that hired you, never sold you, it hired you videotapes. What's a videotape? I hear you say. A film. So went to Azad, hired that out. Didn't really know anything about the story and all that, and just remember being shocked and in awe. And again, we'll say it again this week, as we've been saying the last week, didn't see it coming. How it all played out, did not see it coming. Aimed that it says it did is a wank. Right? So that's to all yous out there that are saying you did see it coming. Yous are fucking dirty, rotten, lying bastards of people. And I don't trust you. So mate, it was amazing. I seen it maybe 1996 probably, or later 1995 when it got out in the video, and amazing.
Aye. I think that's well, obviously they don't let many 3-year-olds into the old fucking cinema to watch Seven, but I think I would have been a videotape viewing myself. Might have been recorded after telly, I know, you never know. Because that was another thing, by the way. You could record from the TV.
Oh! Aye, physically, no on a hard drive built into your box. It was a physical thing, the tape and all that shit. And you could break the wee bit of plastic off so people couldn't tape air it, and you could do it in high speed so you could get double the length. Oh! What happened? What did we move on for?
It was hilarious. Let's see, videos we used to get made up for us. Like just say the Batman animated series and all that.
Aye.
Well, during the break, boom. Buy this today. Like, two-way radio. Like, Jesus.
I know.
That's
Amazing,
viewing
mate.
my viewing pleasure there. But again, back to David Fincher, by the way.
Uh-huh.
That guy has a very bleak look at the world. I mean, if you take this and Fight Club together, everything is horrible. Know what I mean?
I know. I know. They're two films through the eyes of how it has to be seen. But you know what I mean? And the mere worrying thing is that he's no telling any lies. It is fucking, it's a horrible, dangerous, scary bastard in place out there. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, aye. Again, for anybody that's not seen it, Craig, have you got a quick synopsis of the movie? A quick rundown,
Synopsi!
if you
Hello,
please.
welcome to Synopsi. Detective Somerset and Mills are well, I'll start again, right? All excited there because I was looking at something. Detective Somerset and Mills,
Penis again.
one a seasoned cop, the other a relatively new one, are paired up to solve murders. Together they attempt to find a killer who is inspired by the 7 deadly sins. And that is very short and sweet. But that's the crux. That is the crux. As me and Chris talk about it, you'll find that there is a whole lot more attached to said synopsis.
Oh, there's a vast body attached to this.
There is. I like fucking gluttony, the vast body.
Again, we've already mentioned who's in this film, like Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, but originally they weren't the first choice. For the Somerset part, which is Morgan Freeman, the parts were originally turned down by Al Pacino and Gene Hackman, which could have been a very, very different film. Just Al Pacino. She got a girl.
Look at the body. Look at the size of that guy. My God.
And for the part of Mills, that is obviously played by Brad Pitt, Denzel Washington turned it down as he thought it was too dark and evil. Oh well.
Aye, but obviously he said once he's seen that film, he says it's one of the biggest mistakes ever made in his life. Wish he'd done it. So,
yeah.
Isn't that always the fucking way?
Hindsight, baby, you gotta love it.
I know. I'm anybody, Denzel. You've made a couple of no bad ones. You know what I mean?
I know. I just see what he went. Oh, I found it too dark and evil. Then made man on fire. Like, oh, fucking hell, man. But anyway, the deaths in this, the whole theme of the killer, killing people, and the theme of the 7 deadly sins. What do you think about that, mate?
Well, obviously, you learn more about it once you've watched the film in its entirety. But it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What a fucking... See, there seemed to be a time back in the 90s and the 80s that I remember there was a lot of serial killers about that... Bear with me when I say this word, right? They worked, right? Their work was under the guise of being driven by a higher power or somebody talking to them. It wasn't them. They were just a vessel. So that was well used, and it was in keeping with the time and the news of the time of serial killers and stuff. So it was great. And the very fact that the film doesn't let you see the killer virtually till the end, doesn't even let you learn anything about the guy, a name or a job or a history or nothing. It doesn't need it. It's brilliant, mate. And then I'm sure we'll get onto some of the things like the crime scenes and the messages and the clues, and that's fabulous. It's fascinating, is what it is. Absolutely fascinating, because you're like, who wrote this? And are they all right? Like, it's like a guy that wrote all the Saw films and all that. How's you? Wait, have you got a hobby? Have you got a cupboard that nobody's allowed in?
Well, again, added to the mystery of the murderer, who is played by Kevin Spacey. Spoiler, if you've not seen this, but 30 year, I feel I'm on the side of you're in the ring. So, aye, Kevin Spacey himself actually asked for his name to be removed from the opening credits to add to the mystery of the killer.
Aye.
And that's why after the film's done, he's the first name that comes up in the end credits. So even then, there's a bit of thought went into this. But
You're right.
see that you mentioned Saw, it seems do you think this kind of inspired Saw?
I could see how, aye, definitely. Especially one of the ways that somebody dies at the hands of someone else wearing a certain device. Aye. It's macabre, it's dark, it's a bit sick. And I can see well, again, the ethos as well, because Saw, the ethos is that everybody that's getting killed are bad people anyway. They're no good.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're in there to try and atone for what they've done previously, which is why Jigsaw's drugged them and fucking snibbed them up. You know what I mean? So, and John Doe believes, obviously, passionately about the people that he's killing are sinners. So, aye, Doe definitely can see a link there, mate. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I say that because, like, I think it's obviously one of the things. Well, there's a couple of them. I'm like that kind of. They're kind of Saw themed. You know what I mean? You'll be punished by what it is you were into, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But in this case, there was no escape for it. But
true. Aye, they get out, man.
Yeah. But we're two good guys. Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. I mean, I've got my views on Detective Mills. But obviously, I get that's the way it's supposed to be. The young cop, fucking rash, frustrated, and fucking headstrong and all that. You've got the kind of old head, relaxed Morgan Freeman, Somerset. But Detective Mills fucking really, really annoys me.
Is it?
Aye, it's like a fucking. It's like a daft Wayne. Know what I mean? It's like. It's like, in fact, know what it's like as well? It's either you've been in the motor and Wayne start asking, "Are we there yet?" It's that thing. Know what I mean? Whoa, you fuck up.
There's a juvenile petulance about him because he can't stop trying to remind Somerset, "Hey, I'm not a rookie. I've done some things. I've been some places, man. I'm good at my job. I'm a detective, just like you. Don't treat me like a dick." All that. But Somerset knows all this. He says you've no been he says yes, but no here. You've no been a detective here. And that seems to be like, is it New York, innit?
I'm not sure because the name of the city is never really said, but apparently they says they shot this film in LA, which surprises me because of all the fucking rain.
No fucking way. I'm saying it looks like New York, but then some of the polish look like Chicago polish as well. So you're right, whatever city it is, anyway, it could be fucking Sin City for all you know. But it's its own character without knowing exactly its name, because Morgan Freeman lets you know in no certain terms. And so does his captain, and so does other wee snippets of Polish when they talk about this place of, fuck all, mate. As your disco would say, fuck all about this place, man. You know what I mean?
Aye. Because there is examples that offer in the film, like crime scenes and the whole shebang and all that, know what I mean? And it's like, but I think a bit that's more like revealing in Mills's character is when he's talking about, see when he took his gun out and shot somebody and all that, and he can remember everything about what happened except the guy's name. Know what I mean?
Aye.
And I just get the feeling that Morgan Freeman's kind of like fucking policemen have changed. Know what I mean?
They have. That was a surprising thing as well when they talk about, they ask each other if they've drew their guns. Way how Somerset portrays the city to be, I'm surprised his guns dies in its holster. But he says he's only drew it once with the honest to God intention of actually using it. I'm like, fuck's sake. So obviously their work is turning up after the fact, isn't it?
Aye.
He's not been involved in a lot of in-action chase scenes or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. It's just. But aye, like, as a whole, man, fucking Mills just fucking. He just. Well, I mean, it's. Like, the character Somerset already kind of knows. Like, it's the first crime scene, the first death. After it, he's talking to his captain, and he knows this killer. Like, he's like, this is going to take longer than how many days I've got left. And the guy's too patient, meticulous, and all that, well crafted for this to be his first outing, sort of thing. No, I mean, he's not ready for it. And you're just like that. You're a wise old owl. I like you.
Aye. Because see that opening gambit, right, of the film, that is genius, right? I know we'll get to favourite scenes later on, but it starts off him waking up, folding, getting ready for work. He's got a routine. He's immaculate. Do you know what I mean? And then boom, he's right into a fucking what he probably does every day, seeing, do you know what I mean, how ugly human beings can be to one another. It's fucking
Aye.
how does a guy like that behave? Switch off.
Aye. Aye, it's like you kind of see that as well. Let's say when he goes home and he's in his bed chilling and he has to put on this wee fucking ticking noisemaker thing, and it's to drown out the noise of the city.
It's called a metronome.
There you go, mate. Metronome for your dome.
It's actually used in music as well. People use it to keep
Oh.
the beat. You know what I mean?
Aye. But he's using it to drown out the city because, again, if you're watching the film, you can hear the city doing what it does. People shouting, alarm motors going off, fucking chaos going on. And he just concentrates on the wee click to drown it out to go to sleep at night. That's how much this city's affected him.
That's what I mean. It's like it's saying animal. It's saying wild animal, especially at night time, which it seems to always be in this movie. Fucking nighttime and raining and pissing, and nobody has a big light. Like in Glasgow, put a big light on. Put a big light on, Craig. That's a Glaswegian saying. That means the living room light, you know what I mean? Put that big light on. No big lights in this fucking film.
You've mentioned the city. See this city. See without it being Batman, this fucking city could be Gotham, no bother.
100%, mate. 100%. Exactly. That's what it's like. It is. It's exactly like the Gotham we've seen in the TV series Gotham, and most recently the Batman. It's that Gotham. Aye.
Aye. But just something popped up on my screen there. Save £900 on Galaxies.
Oh, but I hope that's no chocolate. Samsung Galaxies.
So, talk about gluttony, you fat bastards.
I know. See, talking about the 7 Deadly Sins, mate. I know I said this to you all day, but I found it quite interesting and quite surprising. I'll tell the people. The 7 Deadly Sins are not explicitly listed in the Old Testament or the New Testament as a specific group. While the Bible mentions individual sins that are considered part of the 7 deadly sins, the concept of the 7 deadly sins as a categorized list was developed later by Christian theologists, most notably Pope Gregory I in the 6th century. So it's not directly found in the Bible itself. So there you go.
There you go. All you mad bastards out there.
One of your own popes getting above his station again in the 6th century. I'm fucking doing this thing.
If I'm not doing it, nobody's doing it.
This will be fucking useful in another, 13 centuries.
Brad Pitt will be in the film about it. I'm telling you now.
And Morgan Freeman, he'll actually play God in a film as well. You know what I mean?
Oh, brilliant, man. Oh. But since we've mentioned the sins, that's day the murder scenes, mate. How fucking graphic and horrible are they?
They are. And it's probably, as I just mentioned, the lighting in this film, it's probably best we didn't have full illumination because obviously it would have added to the scene any. You wouldn't have seen anything more than you had to, but it'd have been fucking far more graphic. It's horrible, mate. It's the level of, it's not just the dead body, especially the first one, right? Gluttony. It's the state of the place. It's crawling with beasties and rotten food, and obviously they've found buckets with vomit and feces and all that in it, and the big guy's been dead for like a week with his face in spaghetti sauce, and
Aye.
oh man,
It's no nice. um, Obviously, one of them is a lawyer who used to get bad people off. His sin was greed. He's made to cut like a pound of flesh off himself. Sloth, obviously being a lazy bastard. There's a guy been chained to a bed for a whole year. You know what I mean? It's just what was Mel going to ask you, right? What one of the deaths is the worst?
Well, I've not got a vagina, but if I did have a vagina,
That could be arranged.
I know, especially this day and age. Well, see if I say I've got one, I've got one, haven't I now? That's the fucking. In fact, let's be trans for 5 minutes. Let's be a trans woman for 5 minutes. I would not like to be, as the movie describes it, fucked to death by a strap-on bowie knife. That could be painful. I wouldn't like that. Do you know what I mean? So I'll say that to now. Although I'd imagine having my stomach ruptured would be fucking horrific as well. But what about you? What do you think?
I don't know, mate. I think I'm leaning towards sloth.
I was going to think you were there actually because that's worse than death. That could be worse than death.
Yeah.
Being kept in that stasis for a calendar year. Oh.
As I'm
no.
thinking, just the long suffering, whereas I reckon getting shagged to death. As some people have like, oh, that'd be no bad. Well, no, in this instance it wasn't.
Aye.
But they've all got their own wee bad thing. But I think for me, see the slow death over a year. I think that would be that'd be horrific.
Aye. You're right, because is it the coroner or no? It's a doctor, isn't it, in the hospital because obviously he's still alive, right? And the doctor says to him, "If this guy's brain wasn't gone already, which it has, you could give him a heart attack just by shining your torch in his face." I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then the other thing, if he could talk, well, he couldn't because he chewed off his tongue a long time ago. Oh,
it's fucking. By the way, right? He said trivia here for people, and I don't know if it's true, but I want it to be true. Apparently, the SWAT team, assuming they first go in there to find that body, the actors weren't told it was really an actor.
I love that. Well, that's quite funny. On you go, mate. Sorry.
No, I mean, just the first time I watched that, see that scene, see when he wakes up, I tell you the now, I had shite up my back, behind the ears, everywhere. It was fucking not good.
Do you know how that when like in cartoons when a cat gets a fright, it ends up on the ceiling, flawed into the ceiling? That is me, man. Fucking aye, shit it. And by the way, you saying that, it fucking is true. It is true. Because I can just tell by John C. McGinley's fucking reaction. And then when it pans off, you hear somebody saying in the background, which I think, no, it wasn't scripted. I thought it was a waxwork dummy, man. You hear a guy saying that. So, aye, I'm gone with that. And by the way, again, David Fincher, genius. If that, well, it is true. I'm saying it's true because it's the same way hit Brad Pitt in Fight Club. I mean, hit him, fucking hit him. I mean, don't tell him, just fucking hit him. Wee things like that.
It's just see the next morning. I'm not going to be into work. Why? Because I've got a big fucking streak of white hair through my hair for some reason today. You know what I mean? Just fucking leave me alone. Hello, HR, is that you?
I can't come in today. How no? Because if somebody breaks wind without alerting me beforehand, I may die of a heart attack. I may expire.
Oh, the absolute fucking fear, man. The absolute fear. But again, apparently, more stuff that happened on filming this. During the chase scene, well, Brad Pitt's chasing the killer. He got so overamped and enthusiastic about it, he fell and punched, put his horn through a car window and severed a tendon. And it had to be written into the script that his arm was in a sling for the rest of the film. So, there you go.
That's right.
Bob Brad Pitt.
As Brad Pitt said in an interview I watched, he's like that. He says, look, he says, the medical team were so good. I thought I was going to go to hospital, but the medical team on site were so great that I was back filming that scene within a couple of hours, all strapped up. He said, and it looked fucking great. It did. See how I said earlier on about, again, like we've been mentioning, about how didn't see it coming, didn't see the end play. Like we discussed last week with John in Fight Club, when you watch it back, knowing what you know, and you see the Easter eggs, they're fucking great. Because David Fincher seems to have this knack of putting them there, but no making you twig at the time. I mean, there was one when Mills and Somerset go to Wild Bill's leather store looking for information about John Doe. The clerk says that Doe had a limp, and behind them, outside the store, a man is limping, watching the detectives. So that's took me 30 fucking years to watch that and notice it.
I mean, I seen that myself when I went back and watched it, and I'm like, is it? Because obviously his last deed has already been done. Know what I mean? So, I mean, but we kind of skipped it and all. Like, see the opening sequence to this, like the credits. It's fucking very unsettling and all, isn't it? It's very fucking. I get very like Hills of Eyes kind of vibes off it.
I don't think we've skipped it. It's in my kind of favourite bits, some of my best bits, because I read a bit of trivia attached to that as well. It was done deliberately. It had to be. He wanted the writing to look like a crazy person's. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously you've got that fuzzy glitching shit, and then the music is. Oh, do you know what it's? Have you ever seen American Horror Story?
Aye.
See the theme tune to that? It's demonic and satanic and fucking no right. It gives you an unsettling feeling. That's what it's like, the opening credits, especially as you see that he's splicing off his fingernails. He's getting 4 lines to a line in a book, and he's then stitching it up and all that. He's got a methodical, unsettling routine. And then that, as you say, mate, that music behind it, the title, writing and all that, you're like, whoa, the fuck's this?
This is different. See that as well. Obviously, it comes into play later on that they can't fingerprint this guy, but see the fact this guy cutting off his own fingerprints is fucking bizarre. Know what I mean? It's just, you're thinking, oh, guy's wearing gloves when he does this shit and all that, and as the film goes on, he cut off his own finger fucking prints. That's how we couldn't, like, you're going, oh, a bit. For somebody of that will and mentality to do that to themselves to achieve this goal just shows you how fucking off planet this guy is.
Aye. I mean, there's another film, right? And I can't remember what it is. But what they did was they they melted their fingers. They put their fingers on a hot plate so as not to get. And then that was kind of stolen in Men in Black, wasn't it? When Jay puts his hand on the ball and it removes his fingerprints, kind of thing.
You started saying that. I thought you were going. He's got to mention Men in Black.
Aye, but there was another film where somebody does it in a hot plate in a kitchen or something like that. I remember, but it escapes me what the film is. But you're right, mate. It's just another indication as to the lengths that this guy will go to complete his work. It's not through fear of being caught. It's through the necessity of not being caught, because he'd canny day what he's got today. If he's caught, he's got to finish his work. So it's good, very good, especially when they get to his apartment later on and the forensic says, "You're not going to believe this, but I've not found one print." And he says, "You're right, I don't believe you. Look again."
It's just fucking. I mean, talking about in John Doe's apartment and all that, he's got handbooks written about just his thoughts, and apparently they were all handwritten, and it cost 15 grand.
I know, and so much research was done into doing that even what Morgan Freeman said is factually true. To Mills, he says if you had 50 police officers reading this in 24-hour shifts, it would take 2 months for them all to read it. That was they'd calculated that, they'd worked that out. That's a fucking impressive.
But we've kind of avoided talking about the fact that the bad guy wins, but see this ending, it is so fucked, but brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just,
Aye.
I mean, it's like most films like this, they've caught the bad guy, blah, 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 everything's all done and dusted, and you're curious it leaves you hanging who the last two victims are, like, what's happened, where are they? And just the way that this guy has been so methodical and so thought out that he's created this scenario, and you're just, oh my God, man.
It's the ultimate plan in it. It's the ultimate fucking. He's got everything from start to finish, how he wants it, how he's played it out, how he's envisaged it. It's unnecessarily genius, man. You don't want to say you like it, but for the sake of this movie, it is tremendous. Tremendous. Yep. And again, I suppose it leaves you hanging a wee bit with what happens to Mills after it, but you don't need to know. You don't.
Yeah. Well, in actual fact, apparently there was a sequel to this released in 2015, but no directly involving these characters. I can't remember the name of the film. I think it's Solace or something it might have been called. But it's I've not seen it. I think it's got Anthony Hopkins in it, but I'm not sure. That's how fucking big it was, know what I mean? But
you must find this and link me into it.
Aye, partly so. But just on the ending itself, right? There was a lot of stuff like trivia connected to this. Apparently the studio did not want this ending, but Fincher, having read it in the first draft, went, "No, that's how I end this movie." Brad Pitt says he would refuse to do the film if they changed the ending. So,
go on, Brad.
Again, that's it. Kudos to Brad there. And there was also they were considering the ending of the movie being Somerset shot and killed John Doe instead of Mills. But nah.
I can see why, right? But I'm glad it didn't. Because you wouldn't have seen that coming either, because it goes against everything Somerset stands for. He's by the book. He's, you know what I mean? He's a real proper cop. But it would take a level of self-sacrifice. Maybe it would have worked because he's retiring. I'll take the hit for you, son. But then, no, I get how it could have worked, but I'm glad it didn't, because you put yourself in David's shoes, and I couldn't be the bigger person. I don't think, especially he might have fought it, right? He might have been able to fight the urge. Somerset might have talked him down until John Doe says, and the baby that was living inside her. And I think that's the line that done it. Do you know what I mean?
It's fucking. Again, I do like it when the bad guy wins and all that, but it's just, it's just you're very good, you John Doe, but I'm not supposed to like you, but I like you.
I like you, creepy bastard. That's
In fact,
fucking amazing.
There's a thing, right? We're talking about how this guy has planned all this, right, meticulously, right, and let the sloth guy just tying him down for a year solid. So he's obviously had this pre-planned and all that. So at what point did he think that Mills and his wife would be the last two? Know what I mean? At what point did they pick them to be the last kind of deaths? Know what I mean?
I
Is
know.
it when he,
I know exactly. I mean, so you're right. It's at least a year in the execution of this plan. So, who was the plan aimed for?
aye, that's what I mean.
Was it primarily for Somerset, and then this partner's just arrived on the scene, and oh look, the partner's got a wife.
But even then, it's like he wouldn't know who was going to get his case. Know what I mean? So one of the like two people already picked it, and then I'm curious when he decided to pick Mills. Was it when he took the picture of him on the banister, or was it after the chase? Know what I mean?
Aye, because both of those things would have shown that he was easy to anger. So you're my wrath. Because there's no way fucking Somerset would have ever been wrath. Ever.
No.
Just couldn't have been. So, aye. You wonder if before Mills came along, because you're talking days, aren't you? You're talking days.
Aye.
They're wondering if before he came along, he still hadn't picked out Wrath yet to make his envy. But he's seen him, he's seen his easy to anger, and he's also seen that he's had a family, which he doesn't have, so he's envious of that. So he's like, this is fucking brilliant. God is speaking to me. He's fucking sent this guy. He's completing my job. That's mental, mate.
And that's another thing. See, this film, mate, it kind of shows the fucking madness of radical religion.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean? Just because this guy's, I'll say he's like devout Christian somewhere, but see just the fact that he just hates humanity because of what it has become. But see that all these three characters as well. You've got Mills, Somerset, and obviously John Doe. I think they're like the gradual like the degrading of society. Because you still got like Mills, kind of hopeful. You go out there, you do the good thing, you do the good deed. You've got Morgan Freeman's character, Somerset, who's just had enough of it. The apathy, right? This is too far gone. This is fucked. And then you've got John Doe. It's just like, yous are scum. I'm doing yous in.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean? It's just three grades of like the downfall of society, really, innit?
Aye, you're right, mate. Somerset's been broken over a lengthy period of time. Mills is clinging on to what Somerset believes to be false hope of redemption. And where John's just out there fucking making people pay for it. You know what I mean? So you're right. You're totally right. Three contrasting views and ethoses. But they're different but the same. You know what I mean?
Aye.
They're all focused on the same shit.
That's what I mean. Because I was thinking this myself. Let's see, like the Somerset character, like apathy and all that stuff. He's just, this city's too much. I'm done with it, and he's got something to distract him from the city at night and stuff. And it's just, how many years is John Doe ahead of him? Know what I mean?
Aye. No, he's obviously realised very quickly. Again, there is absolutely zero backstory to John Doe in this. There's no information as to how he got to this point, why. you can sit and surmise all you want. If you sit and think about it harder, if you're like, okay, was he's brought up by an abusive mother? Was he raised in foster care by fucking Catholic priests or something? Who knows, right? But you don't need to know. You just surmise that he's learnt very quickly that humanity are just sinners.
No.
You know what I mean?
I could see at first, I was thinking it was going to be the old cliche that it was a cop doing it. Know what I mean? Especially when the lawyer get killed, because obviously he's defended bad people, and then the sloth guy, he was a fucking criminal anyway. Know what I mean? It was just kind of getting down the lines, and I'm going, oh, here, was he a copper? And I'm just wondering if he was like, see, Somerset, they've just been on the job too long, seen the worst of humanity, and just went, nah.
I'm too old for this shit. David Fincher told Kevin Spacey and Brad Pitt, he says, this isn't going to be the movie that you're remembered for, but it may be the movie you're incredibly proud of. And I think Brad Pitt said himself, it's up there in his top couple of films he's ever done. I think we mentioned Fight Club was his number one minute, but must have got a buzz when David Fincher phones him every time, you know what I mean?
Just imagine that phone call. Brad, I've got this. I'll do it next time Brad shows up. We're going to film you in this white room for 2 hours. Nothing happens. All right.
Aye. I don't know why I've got in my head David Fincher. I've never heard David Fincher speaking, but I just pictured you there with David Fincher phoning Brad Pitt and David Fincher being all like lovey darling. Bradley, darling, how are you?
Well, we've already mentioned scenes, but key some of your favourite scenes, mate. Fire away.
Fire away. One of my favourite scenes in this whole film is Leland Orser's performance. After he has killed a prostitute, been forced to wear a knife strap on to kill her. His performance in that short period of time is fucking tremendous. There was trivia attached to it, which I didn't write down, but it was something like before the scenes, he would go and sprint up and down the street so that he would come in and be hyperventilating on camera. Do you know what I mean? And it was taking like fucking Pro Plus and all that to get his heart racing. It's fucking great. His performance is absolutely brilliant. And just that the gun in my mouth moment, it was in my fucking throat and all that. Somerset's no got a lot of sympathy for him.
No.
I don't think. Do you know what I mean? He's not trying to calm him down. He's not trying to say, look, you were forced, it's not your fault. He's getting him no words of encouragement, man. He's just, like we've just discussed, I think he's fucking just dead in the inside to hear him. Mere shite.
Aye, shame. Aye. Aye, you're right, mate. That was one of mine and all. It's fucking, it's so compelling. You're like, you're this really happened to this fucking guy. You know what I mean? Fucking sweating, freaking, just like you've already said something about it, but see, when it pans out and you've got Mills in the other room talking to the fucking scumbag guy, I wonder if you're seeing again what I'm already like how this is going to bring people down. You've got Mills in that room who's been unsympathetic to like, another victim, really. And then you've got Mills in the other room dealing with a pure scumbag that doesn't give a fuck. And it's like you're seeing what made Somerset happening in the other room. It's fucking brilliant, man.
Aye.
Smart as fuck.
Because Leland also, was it a year later a year later they done Saving Private Ryan. He's got a very short part in that as well, about being the helicopter pilot that couldn't keep the fucking helicopter in the air, and a lot of people were killed. And he's that same short, intense kind of monologue in it. And it was too damn heavy, you know. I nearly broke my arms trying to keep her in the air. He's fucking great, man. That just jumped out at me.
You went with that example, mate, and I was thinking Alien Resurrection. When he finds out there's a fucking alien inside of him, mate. and you're like, I like you being a panicky person because you get me all fucking agitated.
I would fucking hate for him to be on the school run with me in the morning, but if the boys weren't putting their shoes on in time, the bell's going to go, they're going to be late, punishment exercise.
Oh, I'll tell you, man, if you're fucking tripping on mushrooms or whatever the fuck it is, man, and you just watched a couple of his scenes, you'd be like, I'm going to die.
They're jumping out of windows and everything. Let's give one of yours, mate. Another one then. Because I stole one of yours for a fucking charge.
Aye, well, instead, because you went very bleak, I'll go for the light tone of the movie, and it's when I forgot her name. What were we calling her last night? Tracy?
Dinner at the Mills.
Aye, that's it. Dinner at the Mills. See that?
Tracy, aye.
Aye, that was just, you've got Tracy, Detective Mills and Detective Somerset, and they're just all sitting having a laugh and talking, and then the house vibrates because of the subway. And it's just Mad Morgan Freeman's laugh, man. I'm like, I like you. But I like that because it's like it's like the icebreaker between the two, because they weren't going anywhere before that.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean?
Aye.
And she was kind of the dynamic that brought the two together. So it was like that. But that is the one light moment in an otherwise fucking depressing, horrible film.
Aye, it's the one semblance of humanity and goodness, wholesomeness, if you will, in this fucking dungeon of a city, man. Aye, mate, it's great you mentioned that. Just prior to that, when she phones the office and asks her husband to put the Somerset on, it's fucking genius, man. It's brilliant. And then when she answers the door to them, hello, man. And she goes, our line, I've got it down, but it's just brilliant with keeping the scene you've just told us. She says, I've heard a lot about you, but not your first name. And then he says it's William. And he says, good, it's a good name, that William. William, this is David. David Williams. Ah, right, okay, right. Fucking made me chuckle. She's, yo, fucking yo.
That's what I mean. See, that's what I also think on Orser, but it's like the kind of icebreaker that brings Somerset back on side with Mills.
Aye. Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a glimpse of something he's not seen for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Know what I mean?
And she's a good character for how little she's in the film as well, Gwyneth Paltrow, because she asks questions like an embarrassing wife or partner would. Why are you not married? I was sort of Wayne's question, isn't it? Why are you not married? Well, yeah, how you not married? Tell me.
Plus, see, Iris, I think she's the only, I'll say, clean character. Because obviously Mills is fucking, these people are fucking bad, blah, 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 blah. Somerset's like, the world's a shithole. John Doe, he's killing everybody anyway. Even the other the other police, they don't care when they go to scenes. How long's the guy been dead? I don't know. You know what I mean? Aye. You've got the guy in the sex shop. I just make things. Fucking she's the one person that's like, how are you? And then even in another scene with Somerset, when if she finds out she's pregnant, it's, is this the right thing to do, sort of thing? Know what I mean? But
aye. Again, you're right. That's a great wee performance. That just back and forth between the two of them. She's asked to speak to him, and you can tell she fucking hates it there. She doesn't want a Wayne to be brought up there. But at the same time, she's trying to be as supportive as she can be to her husband who wanted to go there.
Yep.
That in itself, I mean, Somerset says to him, why did you want to come here? So you're like, David's obviously got a fucking ego. He thinks he's the greatest detective in the world, and he wants to go to the worst place in the world to prove he's the best detective in the world. So that's dangerous. The wife's obviously, because Somerset asks her at a dinner table, doesn't he? Says, how you liking it here? And David instantly puts his horn on her shoulder and answers for her. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
Just a bit of adjustment. Like everywhere else, we'll get there. And She's fucking not
Aye.
happy at all,
No. Here's another one for yourself, mate.
man. I will say, go with the obvious one. The John Doe chase scene is good. And it's quite lengthy. It's lengthier than I remember it being as well. Obviously, they find his address. They go to his door. There's no answer. And as they're talking, William just says to David, look, you just see this silhouette with a bag of messages. And then bang, 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 bang. And we're fucking in. You're like, oh, fucking hell. There he's there. Because we've not seen him.
No.
There he's there. We're going to see his face.
No.
Or fucking... And the chase scene lasts a long time. But I tell you what, see, for a guy with such a fucking heavy limp, he can get about and get up and down fire escapes, through windows, down ladders, on tappy dump trucks. Nae bother.
Well, all I'm going to say, at the possibility of mentioning somebody being infamous, Oscar Pistorius had nail legs and he could run as fast as fuck.
But could they climb a ladder? I don't know about that. I like to be shot at a gun right enough.
What are you going to... Well, saying that, I'm wondering if he had the limp before the chase. Or was the chase where the limp came from? But it probably doesn't work out that way, because I dare say it took longer to make that strap-on fucking machete thing than a day, you know what I mean?
Aye. I'm trying to think now if they go to the leather shop prior to that chase scene or after it. Is it before it?
Is that after?
Right. So he had the limp before the chase then. So there we go. But
I'm also wondering, but saying that, he could have got the limp for the chase because he had already picked his victim. See the prostitute. So he could have already had the receipt for Bill's leather store. So he could have had that already made and just picked it up with the limp.
Right. Aye. Right. Okay. Really doesn't fucking matter, but there we go. Aye, I know. But the whole chase scene is great. I remember when I first seen it, I think I thought, right, we're going to see who this cunt is now. But you don't. No. And I'm glad you don't, because it works. It totally works. It still keeps you hanging until... In order for this film to work, John Doe cannot be identified until he wants to be. And that goes as much for the police in the film as it does us, the moviegoer, because it works totally. We don't need to see who he is until he decides that he's revealing himself. So when David's lying in the gutter after getting fucking sucker punched and he picks the gun up, puts it to his head, you're like that. Spares him. Fucking brilliant, man. And then he's away in the night. You know what I mean? Or away into the rain, sorry.
That's what I was asking about. When did they pick him? Is that when he picked him? He's like that. Nah, you're my wrath. You know what I mean? But
no, it's before that. It's before that because he's the photographer.
I know. That was the two instances I was thinking. Because obviously in both situations, Mills shows aggression and all that, right? But it's no.
Well, that definitely confirms it. Fuck's sake, because they put his door in after that.
Gun to his head. Aye, he goes, "I'll spare you," and I'm going. I'm wondering if that right there and then is when he decided to do it, because he could have killed him and had his first choice of wrath and envy before already picked out, and then he's went, "No, you're now my wrath," sort of thing. But
makes sense.
Aye,
here's another one.
For the sake of it, and for the nostalgia of it, and how fucking it got me, Sloth is definitely one of my favourite scenes. See, just even when I'm watching this film now, I go, I can't wait to Sloth.
Oh, it's a challenge. That's a challenging wag.
I mean,
I can smell that scene.
Aye, you can. It's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, see, you get an impression of how young I was when I watched this. I thought that was a monster on the bed.
What's that lying on the bed? Is it a monster? A fucking monster?
It's fucking like prosthetics, the makeup, setting of the scene, the tension in the scene, and then the fucking jump scare. It's just got everything. Just like, oh my
How many
days.
times? How many times you seen this film?
Far too many, more than 7.
Right. So for talk's sake, say you've seen this film 20 times. So 19 times of that 20, you know that jump scene is coming. I bet you still fucking
Oh, it's coming! It's coming!
And
Because
no,
even
but
then, when you're watching it, you forget when the jump scene is. You forget when it is. You know what I mean? You go, all right, either in there, and it's like, oh, it's that's that done. They're about it, and then it's when the John C. McGinley character goes, you got what you deserved, and you go, what? Then you go, oh, you bastard, you, you've got me.
And after what you revealed earlier on makes it even more genius because he did it. He fucking shits himself proper in real life. And you do go back and hear it, people. If you've not heard it before, you'll hear somebody, one of the SWAT team, say, "That was a fucking waxwork dummy." You hear him saying it, man. Brilliant, brilliant.
It's fucking as mate as. I definitely. Like I say, it's the thing I take away for this film is the sloth. I mean, don't get me wrong, the ending is superb, but see that, it's just fucking, oh.
I'm going to give you a scene as well that I particularly enjoyed because it was in keeping with a running theme we've been having at work lately to do with the word culture. Oh, just for context, people, me and Chris are just having a back and forth laugh at one another about. I says to him, "You're not very cultured," so he's not let it drap ever since. Oh well, I'm not cultured enough, so fucking I can't do that. I suppose you've got to be there. It's funny, but in this film, Somerset goes to the library, and you quickly work out that that's where he goes. That's the place he's been gone for years to study up on stuff, and he knows all the librarians and the security like pals. So he makes a quip, doesn't he, about look at all this bloody culture in here, and all you guys can do is sit and play cards. And then the big one stands up, and it's Big Sam, the bus driver for Speed. Culture.
Aye.
How's this for culture? And he puts on classical music. And so I thought of you right away.
So did that, by the way.
I'll fucking give you culture, you prick.
I got culture up the ass.
How about I culture you right the fucking face, you fucking prick? So that was funny. I thought of you right away. And then Somerset studying alone in the National Library with that music behind him is fucking lovely. It's beautiful because he's reading demonic, depraved, deadly sin shit out of all these books. And you've got the most soothing, calming music behind it.
Aye.
It's as eerie as it is fucking great.
It would have been hilarious, man. If that big guard went like that. Listen, pal, I got this job. I was a fucking bus driver. See, the day I had that day, you'd be in here playing cards.
Same year, 1995, Speed. So he two wee, well, got a bigger wrong Speed, but a wee wrong this. It was fucking smashing.
Oh, brilliant, man.
He's another, mate.
Again, I think was brilliant is when we go into John Doe's apartment and you're finally seeing, you're not seeing the killer so much, but you're seeing a part of him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's his apartment. It is just, I don't know what you were expecting to walk into, but it just gave you a fucking mad idea. You see the big red cross on the wall? All these journals all wrote out, and he keeps trophies on the walls and all that stuff. You're just like, this is fucking, it's sadistic. You know what I mean? Very sadistic.
There's a, I don't know what all the planes are for, and I've talked about the planes, woodwork planes. Don't know what all them are for because there's about fucking 4 of them hanging up the wall. And I'm trying to think back to all the crime scenes and all the victims. There was anything fucking but there wasn't. Anyway, it looked fucking scary. I was like, what the fuck? Is that his downtime? He likes a bit of carpentry.
Well, that's my thinking. He's that fucking. He's either that radical about Jesus, he's became a carpenter, or it was just a glimpse of how patient this guy is. That he's meticulous with fucking wood and building stuff.
Maybe.
So
there was another good thing. They opened one of his drawers, and there was about 40 aspirin bottles in there, wasn't there?
Aye.
And you don't think anything about it. You think that's a fucking lot of aspirin. But then Somerset reads the passage for the journal, and humanity is actually giving him fucking headaches. Do you know what I mean? His head hurts. Humanity hurts his brain. So that was quite. I was like, I like that.
Then it's the whole thing. Obviously, Mills is in the bathroom and then he sees the 40s, and we had him. Know what I mean? And you're going, oh my god, the old fable. They always come back to the scene, and he did. You know what I mean? He did. You're just, oh fuck's sake, man.
That's a good scene, mate.
Brilliant, man.
Really
so fucking very dark, and just a glimpse into the killer. But thought it was smashing.
It's a smashing how they get in there as well, because they weren't meant to. They didn't have a warrant. And Somerset and David are having this argument at the door, and obviously David's all fucked up, bleeding and wet. He's like, don't, we can't, we need to get a warrant. We go, aye, okay. And then they fucking just rattles it. Went, well, no point arguing now, is there? And then he pays a mad crack whore to fucking tell the police that she told them about it and all that. Yeah, I phoned the detective Somerset. Somerset, yeah, that's what I did.
One of the murders happened right over there.
Liquid ass. I didn't hurt my sandals or nothing, Jesus.
Just Morgan Freeman and all. You stupid son of a bitch.
That's great.
And obviously the ending goes without speaking. It's just fucking oh my god.
Aye, for the minute you just see a wee pair of feet coming out the taxi behind him. I love him getting their attention in the foyer.
Yeah.
Just two quiet detectives, and then detectives just stands there like fucking Jesus. Know what I mean? He's bandaged fingers covered in blood. Again, David gives off the fucking handle. He's just so emotional and so temperamental. And hey, Dan, fuck out. It grates on me at times in this as well. You're right.
It's even then, I know. I mean, see what annoys me more. All his antics, right, is when he's talking to John Doe in the motor, and it's like he's got the superiority because he's caught him. He's trying to belittle John. But see, this is what I'm like. I'm not supposed to like you, but I do like you because John Doe is more than ready for him. No, I mean, he's trying to bam him up and then spins it round on David. Like, no, you're the fucking idiot.
Aye, he is a fucking idiot. He is. He's magnanimous and he's up his own arse and he thinks he's won and all that. And Somerset is still offering him a level of respect when he's talking to him. He's asking him a question. He's no telling him, I'm better than you. You're right. David annoys me in this. The car scene, that David annoys me. And the overuse of the name John annoys me. Because they fucking say it about a million times. We know who you're talking to. He knows you're talking to him. You're fucking in the same motor facing the guy. All right, John, how you doing, John? Sitting there, John, aye. How's your fingers, John? What's up, John? John. You're fucked up.
And it's more that line and all like that. You use one anywhere like near me until I gave myself up. I was like, no, we would have caught you eventually. And then it just belittles him. Like, oh, what was it? Were you just biding your time, just letting me fucking closing the net and just fucking brings him down to a tee? That's how what Somerset's like that. He did beat us. He gave himself up. Know what I mean? We didn't win this. Something's fucking still at play here.
Aye.
But
Let me say
It's
this for the benefit of the listeners and the watchers of this podcast. I do not give a monkey's fuck what you think about Kevin Spacey as a person, right?
Mm.
She's an actor. He's shit hot.
oh,
That the deliverance of every single fucking line he does for the moment he walks into that police station to takes a bullet in the brain is gold. He's brilliant. He looks like a fucking serial killer. He talks like a serial killer. He acts like a serial killer. You believe that he believes that he is on a mission for fucking God. You just,
Yep.
And he's so cold and calculating and so believable, man. He's flawless. And you're right, mate. His dialogue in that car is just second to none.
Yeah. That's superb, man. If you don't want to watch the whole film, which I suggest you day, you can just watch that part. You know what I mean? And it's fucking superb. You know what I mean? Rationalizes why he done what he done to people. You know what I mean? And it's even to the point where you go, I know what you're saying is wrong, but there is what he is saying is kind of right and factual at times as well. You know what I mean?
Exactly. He's made his point in the most drastic way possible, but he's got a fucking point about innocent. Is that supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
Is don't be right. The fat guy is the innocent, as the guilty of it, and he's maybe guilty of fucking letting himself
Being
go.
fat.
He's not hurt anybody else doing that. You know what I mean?
Aye.
He's so, but the others, there's all good reason apart from obviously the last two to say that they weren't the best of people and all that. It's just immense, man. It delivers it flawlessly.
Yeah.
And he also gets under David's skin, which is fucking great. He deserves that moment. Do you know what I mean? Hey, sit back, because David's like that. I don't like what you're saying to me. Sit back. No, you're right.
See,
so don't fuck up.
Again, it's like the final moments again, because you'll get Somerset no saying much, but trying to understand the guy better, try to understand this murderer better. Whereas Mills just sees it as another opportunity to go, we got you. You're a fucking idiot, we're better than you. Like, nah.
It'd be so good if this film was done in Glaswegian, wouldn't it? I hear you.
You're a bastard.
Check you in the bag in the man motor, you wee cunt. See, as a sociopathic, I would suggest that John Doe is. He's got a comedic line.
Aye.
About the dog. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
What have you got there?
Here's a dead dog.
I didn't do that. It's fucking great, man.
Talk about lines. There's a good segue. Favourite lines, mate. Oh, segue. What's that you're on? It's a segue.
I'm a security guard in the Ford market. I'm on a Sedgway. Because I can't walk, which my fucking job requires legs. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I think junkies can run faster than Sedgways. There you go. It's just my fucking thing. Anyway, I digress. I'll give you a wee line, mate. If I don't scroll away down to the bottom again, like a fucking idiot. That's right. In the car, David is a pain in the arse, but he has a great line or two. I like the one who says, well, you're no messiah. You're a movie of the week. You're a fucking t-shirt at best. Because that's when he's starting to get under David's skin. And that's David's retaliation. But it's a good line. Movie of the week. You're a fucking t-shirt at best. I like that. Oh, you guys one.
Well, you've already said that, but I'm going to say it again anyway because it's haunting and brilliant. Even if his brain wasn't mush, which it is, he chewed off his own tongue long ago. He's endured more suffering than anyone I've ever met, and he still has hell to look forward to. That's the Doctor talking about the sloth character. It's fucking levels, man, levels.
So how does he know he's got hell to look forward to? What was it Sloth done again? What was his...
Armed robbery, assault, and I think he might have raped a minor or something like that.
Right.
Or kidnapping and raping a minor, something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
But so he's right. He's got hell to look forward to.
Right. That's quite funny because John then makes him Sloth. He doesn't punish him for being sloth. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Because I actually had to double check when I was doing my notes back myself to see the difference between gluttony and sloth. I couldn't remember what one was what. And I was like, fuck, gluttony because he's ate too much. But he could have been a sloth for doing fuck all and eating too much. But there you go. I know it's a great line, mate. Great line and very haunting.
Yes. Aye. Another one about a victim we've not really mentioned. It's the woman that John Doe fucking cuts her nose off. And it comes from Somerset. Call for help and you'll live, but you'll be disfigured. Or put yourself out of your own misery. It's a bit dark, that Somerset, but I like it.
Aye. Even when he caveats the crime scene investigators' observation, he just says, he cut off her nose. And he just goes to spare her face.
Yeah.
You're right, mate. You're fucking right, mate. That's exactly what he's done. Brilliant.
Aye.
Absolutely brilliant.
So fucking. Again, another one you've already mentioned, but it's John Doe saying, "Oh, he didn't know," and you're just, you're
Hell, man.
a bastard. You're a bastard, Wayne. A bastard.
You just had to tip him over that edge like that.
Yep.
It's fucking horrible. It's genius, man. It's fucking genius. But it's so disturbing and horrible. It's aye, what a line, man. What a deliverance again. What a fucking actor.
Yep.
He's proven innocent, by the way, people. So fuck yous. John Doe, wanting people to listen, you can't just tap them on the shoulder anymore. You have to hit them with a sledgehammer, and then you'll notice you've got their strict attention. Aye, that's society. It's the way to renew when people's heads were in mobile phones, fuck's sake. You know what
I mean? Another one for Somerset. David, if you kill him, he will win. And again, it's just because at that moment you're like, fuck, he's right. The impossible position, but if you do, this guy you want to put down, if you do it, he wins the game. It's just
aye, it is. It's in keeping with religion as well, because one of the biggest lines in Christianity that Jesus tries to tell you is love your enemy. Sorry. If somebody I love heeds in a box because of a guy I have under my thumb with the power to fucking he's offski. I can't say I would do any different than David did, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. And just another one I like because it's hilarious. It's back to the dinner with the Mills. Somerset, you've got a soothing, relaxing, vibrating home, and then just fucking bursts out laughing, man. It's fucking superb, man.
See when the start, but Morgan Freeman looks genuinely fucking pissed himself. It's great, man. That's what you said about the laugh. It's great. See when David goes, yeah, laugh it up. I just fucking instantly thought I fucking had Solo. Laugh it up, fuzzball. That'd have been fucking brilliant. But I'm going to get the two scenes and splice them in together. I think that'll be funny. That's a great line, mate. Also in the house, dinner at the Mills. Hey! Somerset says to David, if we catch John Doe and he turns out to be the devil, I mean, if he's Satan himself, that might live up to our expectations. But he's not the devil. He's just a man. That's right.
Yeah.
Devil incarnate, though. It could be the devil incarnate.
And finally for me, because I don't know how many times I've fucking used this. Probably overly used it. And should I see Brad Pitt, I might shout it at him, and it's what's in the box. I remember seeing it to an Amazon guy one day, and you ought to have seen his face. Like, I don't know if he'd heard it before or he's just had a long day, but he's like, there you go, mate. I just gave you gold, sir.
I don't know if he's never heard it, doesn't know the reference, or he's heard it for the 31st time that day. You know what I mean? Very good. There you go, mate.
Okay. Okay, just let me get a scan that box there. Right, say bye.
Aye. Contrary to belief, I didn't pack your books. I don't know what the fuck's in your books. All right, I just deliver the books. What's the bags? Aye, we've been saying that for 30 years, mate. So we have
Right.
30 fucking years. You mentioned that a wee bit earlier on about Somerset when he realises who he's dealing with. He says this guy's methodical, exacting, and worst of all, patient. Because he knows he's fucking right to chuck it.
Yeah.
David Mills on the description. He's a nutbag. Just because a fucker's got a library card doesn't make him Yoda.
Any more for yourself, mate? Any more?
Aye, a few. John Doe. She begged for her life and the life of the baby inside her. Oh, as you say, he didn't know. That's just fucking horrible, man. David Mills. I've been trying to figure out something in my head, and maybe you can help me out. Yeah, when a person's insane, as you clearly are, do you know that you're insane? Maybe you're just sitting around reading Guns and Ammo, masturbating in your own feces. Do you just stop and go, "Wow, it is amazing how fucking crazy I am"? Yeah, you guys do that. That's at the height of his petulance in that car, isn't it? He's
Aye. I want to go to town and get some power converters.
I know, man. You've got me in this car with Detective Somerset, and you're sitting in the back, and Annalie's back home. And reading from John Doe's journal, this is the one we alluded to earlier on. Somerset's reading the journal. It says, on the subway home today, a man came up to me to start a conversation. He made small talk. A lonely man talking about the weather and other things. I tried to be pleasant and accommodating, but my head hurt from his banality, banality. I almost didn't notice it had happened, but suddenly I threw up all over him. He was not pleased, and I couldn't stop laughing. Fucking, who the fuck is man? Who the fuck?
See, one last thing, right? I'll say about the film anyway. See how they can get in contact with the FBI and they find John Doe through the books he's been monitoring and all that, right? I get that is illegal, right? I get it's illegal, but can there not be circumstances where the law, so to speak, can get permission to use systems like that?
I've got to think there has to be, especially if you know you've assessed, right? You've agreed and assessed the pattern is there's going to be 7 murders. You've got 5, so you've got the potential to stop 2. You don't know if you can or no. You don't know if they're already dead, but you've got the potential there. So at some point, rules have to go out the fucking window. All the best films show you that rules go out the window. Do you know what I mean? The Murtaugh and Riggs and all that, bend the rules, and fucking even Cagney and Lacey fucking bent the rules. Crockett and Tubbs bent the rules. And it's for the greater good. It's never for self gain. So
Aye.
I mate, sometimes I let the laws go out the window.
Aye. Oh, have you heard anything else about the movie to say? Now's the time to say it, sir.
I would just like to say about this film, it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
It's a 9 for me as well, mate. I'm an 8 on IMDb, but I think it's moving to a 9. Again, I know I've said this before, but soon when you watch films and you're reviewing them like we do, you get a better appreciation for stuff. Know what I mean? It's a smashing film, well written, well directed, fucking acting is brilliant. Know what I mean? And I ticked all the boxes as far as I'm concerned.
Me too, mate. You don't get them like this anymore. It's as I said earlier on, it's timeless. It stands up today, and it's one of the most. We kind of poked a wee hole in when did he kind of decide that wrath and envy were his thing? But apart from that, the plan is pretty flawless, man.
Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. But everybody, that was 1995's Seven. If you've not seen it, well, you're about 30 years too late. So
you're never
you should
too
get right
late to
on
watch a fucking old movie.
it. A wizard is never late. But again, we'll do movie bingo before we give a thanks again to everybody.
Hey, move bingo, move bingo, move bingo. Yeah, motherfucker.
Yes. And
Get your
again,
list
it's
out.
back to yourself to choose from moi's list. Again,
Yes.
I'll not tell you what numbers are away. Should you pick one that's away, I'll just tell you.
7.
That's so fucking freaky. 7 will be Lethal Weapon. Oh, Gregson Mutter. I went, boom.
Let me take that off of my list. Oh, no, 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 no. It's not in my list. There is a Lethal Weapon on there, but it's not the first one. It's the first one, my Ben, aye?
It's the first one, mate. I just thought, because I knew you would have had the set. I put one down because I thought you're going to have the second one on it.
I know him so well.
So there you go. Next week will be Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and many others. But
and a lot of us two going bum 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 bum. Oh yeah!
Quotation out its arse.
By the way, what a fucking movie to end the series on as well.
Oh, aye, definitely, mate, definitely. I was told you, world's a fucking simulation. You mentioned they two, and then boom. Oh.
By the way, see for the last 5 or 6 pods, the linkage in this world and in the real world has been quite scary. May I say? I'll fucking show you culture.
But again, everybody, thanks for listening, liking, loving, sharing, telling people and all that. You're all very much appreciated. Your involvement with the pod as well is very much appreciated and look forward to, you know what I mean? Feedback, people talking about stuff. It's kind of what you're after, know what I mean? So, means you're not just shouting into the abyss.
Exactly. The 462 years that are actively engaging in the Facebook group page, thank you very, very much. YouTube subscribers, all 338 of yous. One's disappeared for last week. Who is it? I'll fucking find you, you wee bastard. But thank you, everybody else. Aye. But didn't like the fact we're talking about it. So thank yous. And the hundreds of people that are on TikTok following Chris's content, thank you as well. We'll keep churning them out if you keep opening your ears and eyes to us. We love it, man. It's a right good time. And I'll just lastly say, anybody who listens to us or watches us wants to have a film reviewed that we've never done, get in touch, let us know. We'll add it to the list. And obviously, as always, you're more than welcome to come on with us and discuss the film you've chosen. John enjoyed himself so much last week, and he was a great guest, by the way. Great guest. That he has already given us another film for the list. So he's back in it again. He wants to come back on and discuss a great movie. One we've not done. One that's Seismic have done previously. So mate, a wee fucking change, boys, eh? I was doing a movie after years. What do you think? Only kidding. Great couple of lads. Well, great few. I keep saying a couple of lads do because Paul's fucking looked up, isn't he? He's in the dungeon.
He's more hair than man now, Paul.
Yeah, his fucking eyes. Cousin it at the Adams family. Me. And just lastly about this film, it's rocking an 8.6 out of 10 in IMDb and 84% Rotten Tomatoes. If you have not seen it, watch it. You will be glad.
Yep, get on it. And again, shout out to Quint for the tunes again. It's much appreciated. get on, listen to them. Seismic Boys, get on, give them a wee listen. You know what I mean? Good chaps. Good films and all, by the way. I don't think there's been a film yet I went, oh, that's shit. So, go on it. And again, thanks to Tim at Native Origins. You can get them as soon as they're available. They'll be ready to go. But that's all I've got to say on the matter.
That's all I've got to say on the matter. Thanks, everybody. Tune in next
Yes.
week for the end of season bonanza.
Yes, we're wearing fireworks. Goodbye.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
The views and opinions of this podcast are solely our own, with no direct intention to offend or upset.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.